Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to the course of complex variables and transforms. And our today's lecture is basically based upon the Laplace equation and its transforms. Now, the Laplace equation is a very common equation that have been known in the derivatives. So, the Laplace equation is basically a second order partial differential equation widely used in the physics because of its solution of function r, and it occur in the problems of electrical, magnetic and the gravitational potentials because it is related with the partial differential equation. So these differential equations are basically used to find out the gradients or the potentials of the steady state temperature and of hydrodynamics. This equation was discovered by the French mathematician astronomer Simon Laplace. So Laplace equation is basically a PDE, partial differential equation. We have ODEs and PDEs. ODEs are basically the ordinary differential equations. Here we have the PDE, partial differential equation. In partial differential equation, we will differentiate the given equations with respect to a single variable or x or y. Here you can see the form of the Laplace equation. The Laplace equation states that the sum of the second order partial differential equation R of an unknown function can be represented in the Cartesian coordinate form. Here del square R over del x square. This is basically the partial derivative of R with respect to x. So curly square r over curly x square plus curly square r over curly y square plus curly square r over curly z square equal to 0. This is the Laplace equation of 3 dimension. If we have only this term curly square r over curly x square, this would be the Laplace equation of 1D. If we have the y term, then we have 2D Laplace equation, and this is the 3D Laplace equation. Here we have the second partial derivative of r with respect to x, y and z. The sum of the left side, this side, can also be expressed as del square r, where this symbol del is basically the Laplace operator. So square of the Laplace operator r, that is equals to 0. Now apart from the Cartesian form, the Laplace equation also exists in the cylindrical form or in the spherical form. In some of the numerical analysis, when the system is basically a flow system, like there is a pipe and fluid is flowing through that pipe, and that is impossible to apply the simple Cartesian Laplace equation. So then, because of the periphery and basically the cylindrical structure of the pipe, so we will apply the Laplace equation in the cylindrical form. Also in the space analysis, we'll basically apply the Laplace equation in the spherical form. So many physical systems are conveniently described by the use of spherical or the cylindrical coordinate systems. Laplace equation can be recast in these coordinates as well. For example, in the cylindrical coordinate system, Laplace equation takes the form del square r is equals to curly square r over curly r square. Here in the cylindrical system, r and theta are basically the variables. So curly square r over curly r square plus 1 over r curly r over curly r. Here the capital R represents the function and small r represents the variable, plus 1 over r square curly square r over curly theta square plus curly square r over curly z square, that is equals to 0. So this is the Laplace equation in 3-dimensional of the cylindrical coordinate system. Here the variables are r, theta and z. So this equation is applied in the fluid mechanics course in the analysis of the fluid that have been flowing through a pipe and many other applications. Now these are basically the three forms of the Laplace equation is in the rectangular coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system and the spherical coordinate system. If there is a given function, then the Laplace equation have the form in Cartesian coordinate system or the rectangular coordinate system del square f over del x square plus del square f over del y square plus del square f over del z square equals to 0. In cylindrical systems, 1 over r curly r into curly f over curly r plus 1 over r square r over curly phi square, or you can say that theta square, plus curly square f over curly z square, that is equals to 0. And in the spherical form where you have r theta and phi, 1 over r square curly r into r square curly f over curly r plus 1 over r square sin theta curly over curly theta sin theta del f over del theta plus 1 over r square sin square theta curly square r over curly phi square, which is the spherical form of the Laplace equation. And in all these systems, the given equations are basically in 3 dimensions. They can also be reduced to 1 or 2 dimension. In 1 dimension, these 3 equations only have this part. This equation have only this part, this equation have only this part. In 2 dimension, they have these two terms, they have these two terms, and they have these two terms. And in 3 dimension, they have all these 3 terms. And at the end, the Laplace equation says that any of the form, they are in the second order partial differential equation, and that is equals to 0. Now this is the method how can you find the solution of the Laplace equation. Now here the given example, we have a Laplace equation uxx plus uyy equals to 0, or that is del u over del square u over del x square plus del square u over del y square, that is equals to 0. Condition says that 0 less than x, y less than pi. Now these are the boundary condition u of 0 y equals to 0, u of pi y equals to 0, u of x0 that is equals to 0, and this is the initial condition u x pi is equal to sine x sine hyperbolic pi. This is also the function f of x. Now we consider the partial linear differential operator Laplace and its inverse. This equation can be solved with respect to x, can be solved with respect to y. Here in this given example, we are solving this Laplace equation with respect to x. Here the Laplace is equal to del square u del x square as given. So inverse of Laplace, that would be the integration. As we have two partial derivatives, so we have two integrations, 0 to x dx dx. Okay, this is equation number 1. Now we multiply equation number 1 with the Laplace operator. Before that, we'll take this term to this side, uxx equals to minus uyy. Now we'll apply the Laplace operator on both the sides. Here Laplace operator says 0 to x, that is del square u del x square dx dx, that is equals to minus sign as it is. Laplace operator 0 to x uyy dx dx. Now we'll open the first integral, this side remain as it is. Now we will operate this integral with this derivative, so this second derivative would be converted into the first derivative, that would be equals to 0 to x integral del u over del x 0 to x dx. It will becomes del u over del x x of y minus del u over del x 0 of y, as we have x changes from 0 to x, so this is the final xy 0y. Here we can have 0 to x del u over del x xy minus g of y dx. Why we have introduced g of y here? That is important. Here in these boundary conditions are only upon u, not upon u dash. Okay, here we have basically u dash, so there is no boundary condition that is related with the u dash or the derivative boundary condition. So we will introduce a third variable, that is basically g of y. Now again we'll take the integral on both these, so that integral with this derivative, so it will become simple u function. So derivative would be cancelled out with the integral, so u x of y minus u 0 of y minus, as this is constant with respect to x because the function is in the y form, so g of y and the integration of 1 is x and this function as it is. Now we have u x of y minus u 0 of y. U 0 of y is equals to 0 from the given boundary condition. So minus x g of y, that is equals to this function as it is. Now u x of y is equals to, if we'll replace this term here, so it will becomes positive. So u x of y function u, that is equals to x g of y minus 0 to x 0 to x u y y dx dy. Now we will consider the decomposition of the infinite series. Here u of x in the series form, u of x y, that is equals to summation n, that is equals to 0 to n. Summation n changes from 0 to n u of n, and this is basically the first term u naught of the series x g of y. This is u naught and this is u. Here u of k plus 1, u of, again as it is in the decomposition, a Domian decomposition form, so as the given uxy is in the summation form, this is basically the first term u naught, and anything that is remained on this side instead of this, anything that is in the integral, that would be equals to u of k plus 1 minus 0 to x 0 to x u of k y u of k y y dx dx. Now if we put k is equals to 0, that would become u1 minus 0 to x 0 to x, here u naught u y y dx dy, because here we have k. So what is the value of u naught? That is x g of y. So x g of y dx dx. Now as we have two integrals here, so we have to integrate it two times. In first we will have x square over 2, and in the second integration we have x3 over 6. So u1 would becomes minus g of second derivative y x cube over 3 factorial. Similarly for u2 we will put the value of k equals to 1, so u2 becomes 0 to x 0 to x minus u1, as u, here we have value of k u1, and we will differentiate again, take the integral 4 times, so here the g4, the fourth derivative, so g4 is equals to x5 over 5 factorial, so it will becomes a series. Also you can find u3, so at least you have 3 values. So in the series form we'll have uxy, that is equals to u naught plus u1 plus u2 plus u3 plus so on. So u of xy is equals to x g of y minus u1 था minus x cube over 3 factorial g second derivative y plus x5 over 5 factorial g 4 derivative into y plus so on. So from the boundary conditions we have find out the solution that is in the form of x and y, but here in the form it was given 0 to x and y changes from pi. So instead of y we will introduce here pi. So u x of pi, it will become x g of pi minus x cube over 3 factorial g double derivative g of pi and again g of pi. Now further, as given in the question, u of x pi is equals to sine x sine hyperbolic pi. So instead of this we can write it as sine x sine hyperbolic pi and this term as it is. So sine hyperbolic pi as it is, the sine of x, the exponential series of sine of x will expand it, so it will become x minus x cube over 3 factorial plus x5 over 5 factorial, like these terms. So from this we can conclude that sine hyperbolic pi is equals to g of pi, g double derivative of pi, g4 of pi. So g of pi is equals to sine hyperbolic pi. So here you can find out g of y, that was basically, here we have assumed g of y. Here the value of g of y is sine hyperbolic y. So again I will tell you how can you solve the Laplace equation by Adamian decomposition method. Here you have the Laplace equation of 2D. These are the boundary conditions. So first you will do that, you will basically operate it with respect to x or with respect to y. Here we are operating it with Laplace with respect to x. So we are considering Laplace inverse on both the sides. Here we are integrating it. Here as this condition was not given, so we have assumed it as a new variable g of y. Then we have put it here the given condition and we have solved u of x y, that is in this form. Then we have decomposition method. In this method says that a function is equals to in series u of n where n is equals to 0 to 5, and here u of k plus 1 is equals to anything that is in the integral, and anything that is before the integral you will be treated as u naught. So from u of k plus 1 we have find out u1 and u2, and then we find out the series. This is basically the solution. Now from the boundary condition, u of xy has been replaced with u of x pi. Here y is replaced with the pi. This value was also given in the equation. So this was equals to this. So we have assumed that this value is equals to this series. From this series we have equated that sine x is equals to these terms. So the g of pi would be equals to sine hyperbolic pi. From this we have concluded g of pi is this, from where we have find out the value of g of y that was initially assumed to find out the solution. So we have find out the solution, and we have also find out basically the unknown or the assumed g of y also here, which is equals to sine hyperbolic y. So this is the method how can you solve the Laplace equation with Adamian decomposition method. So that was all from today's lecture. Thank you so much.